And I think a lot of what needs to be done is to do your homework. Do your homework, know your customers, and know their problems. Make sure that you're solving problems for customers or potential customers, and that you're finding products for your customers, not customers for your products. My name is Annette Franz, and I am based in Southern California, in Orange County, California. I am founder and CEO of CX Journey, Inc., which is a customer experience consulting firm focused on helping businesses improve both the employee experience, the customer experience, starting with culture, leadership, and all of that to make sure that ultimately employees have a great experience, customers have a great experience, and the business benefits from all of that. I grew up on a farm in Ohio, moved out here to Southern California right around when I turned 20. I had wanted to be a veterinarian, knew that wasn't going to happen, had the opportunity to move out here, and saw an ad in the newspaper for a job at J.D. Power and Associates. Now, I love math and I love writing, so what better position for somebody who loves that than to be a market researcher? And while I was at J.D. Power and Associates, and I was there for 5 years, I really learned to love this notion of listening to customers and using that feedback and using that data to improve the business. What a novel concept, but just such a great thing. And I had a lot of fun doing it. So I have really spent the last almost 30 years in this customer experience profession and have watched customer experience and the profession evolve. You know, back in 2011, I had started writing a blog, and the title of the blog, or the name of the blog, was CX Journey. And I had started to do that because I had so much information in my head, and I love to teach and I love to share and I love to help people, that I wanted to get it out in order to help people set up their own voice of the customer programs, to journey map, to develop their design and develop their customer experiences and all of those kinds of things. And ultimately to build my personal brand, right? And so that was 2011. 2017, I said, all right, it's time to go out. It's time to incorporate this. So now my business is CX Journey, Inc. And it's been a fun ride in the last 4 years. It's the best decision I ever made. CX Journey is about the customer experience journey that businesses go through to transform and to evolve their businesses to ensure that they meet their customers' needs. Well, I always say that I have really 3 streams of income, or three different things that I do, right? So there's coaching or consulting, content, and speaking. So coaching and consulting is really around businesses who are, the focus is really heavily on developing their customer experience strategy from soup to nuts. The second stream of income is content. I do a lot of work writing for others, whether it's blog posts or ebooks or white papers, doing webinars, podcasts, and those kinds of things, just generating content and massive amounts of it on top of writing, for my own blog. And I also write for Forbes. I'm a member of the Forbes Coaches Council. And then the third stream is speaking. And whether that's doing keynotes in person or virtually, speaking is my really third stream of income. And then last year, I also added author to my staple of offerings and wrote my first book last year called Customer Understanding: 3 Ways to Put the Customer and Customer Experience and at the Heart of Your Business. So I work with businesses of all sizes, from startups through the large organizations. And really the problems that we solve, that I help them solve, are around retention, whether it's customer retention or employee retention, losing revenue, culture issues, reducing, costs and cost savings and cost efficiencies and those kinds of things. Starting the business was a huge achievement for me ultimately as well, because, I had wanted to do it for so long. And I'm a single mom in Orange County, California, with a mortgage, right? And some of the challenges there with the financial aspects. And when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a steady income every week, right? You don't get a paycheck every week. That just doesn't happen. We all know that, right? And so making sure that there was financial stability and being in a good place was a huge consideration for going out and starting my own business. And so I would say, starting the business, making it to year 4, and writing my book are probably 3 of my proudest moments in the last 4 years, for sure. The logistic and administrative kinds of things, getting accounting and payroll and insurance and the business licenses and getting set up with the state and the IRS and all of those different things were a challenge at the beginning, right? And those are the kinds of things that take so much of your time, and they take away from the reason that you wanted to start your own business. The other thing that I was also having a challenge with was, I think, probably focus two areas, and I have a solution for these 2 areas, which is why I'm going to bring up both of them together. One of them was focus on the things that are important, and lead gen, setting up my lead gen approach. And so I happened to be introduced to someone who is an executive coach, and he really helped me get focused. He helped work with me through Stephen Covey's 4 disciplines of execution, which requires you to set up a WIG, which is wildly important goals, and that really keeps you focused on the things that are important. I think it means 3 things to me: freedom, flexibility, and control, right? Control over what I do, how I do it, when I do it, who I work with, why I do it, all of those things, right? Which is awesome, which is obviously very different from when you work in a corporate role. In a corporate role, you are beholden to somebody else's schedule, the way things need to be done, how they're done, why they're done, when they're done, and all of that. Failure. So no business, no revenue, no customers, right? I think that is everybody's worst fear. And so the thing that we are, as a result of that, constantly doing is being out there, putting yourself out there, reaching out to people, developing content, really making sure your marketing plan is strong. And so that's been a really important part of how I'm doing business. That's one of the things that bothers me about being an entrepreneur, is that as a single, as a solo CEO, as a solo owner in a corporation, I don't have sort of this group plan where I can get reasonably priced insurance. So that's one thing. And then it really takes discipline to make sure that you're planning for your retirement and for your taxes and everything throughout the years. Number 1 is around the calendar and time blocking, right? Just making sure that you block out time for the things that you need to do and the things you need to get done, and helps you prioritize your day. If you sit down at the end of the day and say, here are the 3 to 5 things that I need to get done tomorrow, and as you're getting them done, and they're reasonable things, and you prioritize them by urgency and deadline and all of those kinds of things, as you go through them during the day and you start getting those done, it's a real feeling of accomplishment to start striking through those things and knocking them off your list. The biggest mistake that I made is saying yes to everything. And I used to be teased about that, right? Oh, we know Annette's going to do this because she says yes to everything. And I had to actually force myself to do a year of no. Some people do a year of yes. I do a year of no, or I did a year of no. And wow, that's life-changing, right? Because when you don't say yes to everything, it really frees up your time. It really allows you to prioritize. I was taking a lot of time, probably in the first 2 years of my business, taking every call from and a lot of people wanted to partner with me. Took every partner call. And I was getting frustrated because at the end of those calls, I love to network. I love to meet people. I'm always happy to do that. Always happy to do that. But if I look back at those first 2 years and the conversations that I had, very little came to fruition from ultimately in terms of business. Now, in terms of, relationships and people that I can rely on, yes, awesome. But very little came of that in terms of business. I would say just start, take a chance. Ultimately, if you don't, you'll never know. You will never know. It took me years to jump. Like I said before, it's the best decision I've ever made. Just know when the time is right for you and just do it. Just start. I've talked to so many people who have had regrets that they've either not gone out on their own and started their own business, or that it took them as long as it did to do that. So I would say if you're financially stable, if you can do it, or even if you're not, I know lots of people who have just gone out and done it. And I think a lot of what needs to be done is to do your homework. Do your homework, know your customers, and know their problems. Make sure that you're solving problems for customers or potential customers, and that you're finding products for your customers, not customers for your products. If you plan on having employees, make sure you get the culture right from the start. ZAPPOS is a great example. Tony Hsieh, the 10 values that they have. I mean, the work that they did spend on making sure that their culture was right has really set them up to be the great business that they are, and really well known for having established that culture. So anytime that I work with startups, that's where I tend to have them focus, is making sure that their culture is right, and make time for yourself. Eat right, eat healthy, work out, go out and get fresh air, go and do all of those things to make sure that your mental health and your physical health are the best that they can be, so that you can be the best entrepreneur that you can be. Oh, I think it's so important. Oh my gosh. It's so funny that you asked that, because earlier we had talked about challenges, in the business. And one of the things that I didn't mention was that I didn't have anybody to do graphic design and to help me design my logo and the branding and everything, and then my website and all of that. And I wish that was one place that I had invested more time and money in the early days. So yeah, I think it's very important, because it's who you are, right? It's the face of who you are. It's how you put yourself out there. It's how you present yourself. As an individual, we dress nicely, we dress up, we go out, we want to impress. And so it's the same for any business as well. Thank you, viewers, for watching the Founder X series by Designhill. You can find me on social media on Twitter. I am at Annette Franz. You can always find me on LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm also at Annette Franz, and Facebook. My corporate page is CX Journey Inc. I look forward to connecting. Thank you.